Hello. Good morning, beautiful people of God. This is Prophetess Rivers with another word, another message. Today, I want to talk to everyone about spiritual abuse. Some people might not know what spiritual abuse is, and some people might know what spiritual abuse is. You really don't see spiritual abuse until you look into a church. Not saying that it's not in other places, because it is in other places, but you can detect it more in church. A lot of people get spiritual abuse and spiritual manipulation mixed up. It's not the same, even though they do go hand in hand. Now, when it comes to spiritual abuse, you usually see it in higher power, those that are in the pulpit, mostly the pastors of our church or the shepherds, people like that. Now, people that are up under spiritual abuse, that pastor usually is the type of person that that has a lot of dictatorship. Say that it's their way or it's no other way. They'll usually say that nobody else can have any other voice in their church except for them. You have to go through them for every little thing. Whether you're on the usher board, whether you're in the choir, you'll be like, well, we want to sing this song, but we don't know if the pastor will let us sing this song, or, well, we tried to give our opinion on this or that, but we're unable to. Now, when you see stuff like that it's usually happening because of that person has a controlling spirit. And by that person usually having a controlling spirit, they don't want nobody else saying anything or doing anything else in that church. It's harmful to the people in the church because they don't even know that they're up under spiritual abuse. They don't know it because they're blind to the situation. They know that something is going on, but they don't know exactly what's going on. One of the most famous scriptures that people that are up under spiritual abuse the pastor use is, you can't touch one of God's anointed ones, or you have to be obedient to the shepherd because they are like God. No, they are not like God. And don't get me wrong when I say these things, because I'm not sitting up there saying that you're supposed to be disobedient to your pastor, or I'm sitting up there saying, oh, you don't need to listen to them or this on this or that. You are supposed to be obedient to your pastor, but when it comes to a point where you don't have a voice in your church, or there's having like little certain things, little certain cliques going on in the church, then that's when it becomes to be a problem. It becomes to be a problem because it's not of God. There shouldn't be cliques in the church. You can't pick and choose who people talk to. And usually when there is spiritual abuse going on, when somebody does speak out on it, what that pastor tries to do is silence that person. Or if they see somebody else talking to that man or that woman, they'll tend to tell you, well, what were you doing talking to them? Or everything has to go through me, or you need to come to me. Usually when there's spiritual abuse, other churches do know about it. So that church that is up under a lot of witchcraft or dealing with a lot of spiritual abuse, other churches don't want to be a part of it. That church is usually banned or blackballed from all the other churches. If they do talk to a church, it's usually one or two churches. They usually get angry really, really bad. So now that you do know what spiritual abuse is, I urge everybody that when you do see it going on in a church, pray for that pastor, but most of all, pray for the church, pray for the congregation, because the congregation doesn't know what's going on. And even if they think that they do know what's going on, because there is a veil that is over their eyes, a lot of witchcraft that is being dabbled with, you're not going to see any other ministers in that church. Or if you do see ministers, they'll be there for a few months and then the ministers will disappear because they see what's going on. So I just urge everyone, if you do see spiritual abuse at any church, pray for the congregation, pray for the pastor, that pride goes away from that man or that woman, and that they start following back after God. Pray for the people that their eyes have been opened, and then pray that God puts them in churches where they're going to be loved by their pastor, that they're going to be fed the right way. Mostly people that deal with spiritual abuse, they sit up there and say that they hear from God. Those are what you call false prophets. Not saying that there aren't things that they're saying that will be true, because there will be. But at the same time, half of the stuff they're saying will not come to pass. So I urge everybody just to look up spiritual abuse as well. But that's what I have to say about it. Now, the question of the week is, how do you feel if you and your friend both apply for a job? You get the job, but your friend doesn't get the job. Are you obligated to not go to work, or do you feel like you need to tell your friend that you got the job? Well, I feel that when it comes to a situation like that, if you and your friend both were applying for a position and there was only one position available, then one of you guys already knew that you guys weren't going to get the job. I feel that if that is your friend, call your friend and tell the friend, hey, I got this job. Not saying for you to boast when it comes to you telling that friend, hey, I got the job, they didn't hire you, they only hired me. But let them know so that it gives them an opportunity to go fill out an application somewhere else. But if you do get a job and you and your friend both applied for the job and they call you back, but they don't call your friend back, no, you're not obligated to tell your friend. But out of respect, if that person is your friend, then tell that man, tell that woman, hey, I got that job. I don't know if they're still hiring, but I just want to let you know so you can go and find you another job. That's it. Remember, I love you, God loves you, and all that you do, give God the honor, glory, and praise. To God be the glory.